Good evening, everybody. Wanted to go over some parts that came in and a fuel system update we're going to do to the Foxbody here. That's why it's all up on stands. As you know from the nitrous trip, the car was leaning out and preventing the nitrous from turning on. So I've decided to go ahead and step up to an upgraded hanger from Quantum Fuel Systems, and this is I got steps up to the AN fittings, and some things I like and some things I don't like about it. First of all, you are going to have to mod this thing, and I don't think all the features they say are on here are accurate. So I'll go over what I do like about it and what I don't, and we'll compare it to their. This is their eBay ad. Which was, you see, this is a $100 item. So they say this is okay. So this is a -6AN -6AN fitting, which they are. I have a 6AN fitting that will fit there, and then we go down here and we take a look. Okay, 6AN feed, 6AN return, fine. We already went over that's correct. Stainless steel construction. Yeah, I don't know. It's some sort of steel. I don't know if it's stainless or not. But a 3/8" feed line and a 5/16 return line, which is an upgrade from 5/16 feed on the stock hanger and a 1/4" return. So basically bumping everything up one size. Then when I look at this, these feed and return are both the same size. They're both the same size. So you can even, use a drill bit, and they're both the same size. So that's a little inaccurate. But let's look at this next one. Upgraded bulkhead connector. So I've already got this wired up with the replacement pump because my tuner looked at the log and he thought the pump was going bad. So it's a 340 milliliter. This is the 5.0 Tussin endorsed Kemso pump. Inexpensive. It's what's in the car now. That I've had it in there for about 2 years and it's worked fine up until recently. But I have some other issues. I know the baffle in the tank is loose, so that could be sliding around and folding up the sock or something. I haven't dropped the tank yet because I ordered a brand new tank. It's not here yet. It should be here tonight or tomorrow. But nonetheless, the things I do like the AN fittings. Both, it is an upgrade over stock, but one thing that I had to modify was, obviously, if you're going with a larger feed tube, here they neck it down right here where the hose goes on. So as you can see, I cut the bracket so I could get in and cut this neck down part off. I mean, what is the point of having the larger tube and then you're going to neck it down right before the pump? So I cut that off, and basically the hose was long enough to go onto the larger part here, and I kind of like that anyway because it kind of straightens out the S hose a little more, so you got less kinks in the hose. But so that's something that I would suggest. I mean, I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way when I took the hose off and I saw this was neck down to. It's going to be hard to do with one hand, but where this little quarter inch drill bit will not fit through there. So, and that's on the feed side. So you got a bottleneck right at the pump, and then you go into a larger line. That just didn't make sense to me, and I think that's kind of misleading. I don't know why they had to do that, but to alleviate it, that piece was down here. So I had to cut this off to cut this off with a hacksaw, and then slide the hose further up here and straighten out the curvature to get that going. So anyway, had to do that, but I do like the return, unlike the stock pump, where the return sits like up here and sprays down and aerates the fuel. This does run all the way to the bottom, so that should be fully submerged all the time, and that is larger than stock. And also the one feature they said the upgraded bulkhead connector. So here is the connector that comes with the Kemso pump. And as you see, I think these wires are a lot thicker. So that is an upgraded connector. I feel pretty confident that that's an upgrade. So that much is good, but I had to modify this thing right out of the box, and obviously void my warranty. I can't send it back. But I think the sizes that they list here under features is a little misleading. And some people said they had to drill out the AN fittings because these actually neck down, which I did on the feed side, but as you can see, it's still, you can see where it necks down. And then the return I did not mess with. That's how it comes stock. So all in all, we'll give it a shot. It is an upgrade over stock, but you know, this one was $110, and the Pro M has one that's probably a little nicer quality, and it's about $40 more. There's like $150. It used to be $100 before the pandemic. Now it went up like $60. So I didn't really, knowing it used to cost $100, I didn't want to pay $160 just because of labor shortages or whatever. So I figured this was close to what the Pro M used to cost. So we'll give it a go. So, you know, there's some pros and cons with it. I don't think there'll be an issue running it. I mean, I think it's going to work just fine. But I do like that it comes with the actually curved S hose instead of just a piece of straight hose that you got to bend, and sometimes they kink. But again, I don't like how they put these upgraded size lines and then they got all these necks and kinks in it. That doesn't make sense to me. And it already does. Obviously, the way these are bent, excuse me, you can see the kink in the bends right around the neck. So there's not even like a mandrel. So that's going to be a little loss of flow right there. So is it everything they advertise? Mostly. But, you know, I don't really like the idea when you got to cut stuff up right out of the box to fix little things that are, you know, you're going for upgraded flow and then they got all kinds of kinks in the tube. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, so that's that on the Quantum. But anyway, we'll have the upgraded hanger coming in. I got a brand new tank coming, just the Dorman replacement one, which I've read as good reviews on that one as any. And so we'll have the tank, and then also stepping over to, we're going to run a 8 AN feed line and 6 AN for the return with the fittings. I've got these. I went ahead, I figured I'd spring for these. These weren't too expensive. We'll try out these SN95. These actually were supposedly off a Cobra. They should flow a little better than stock, the 87 to 93s from what I read. But anyway, not a big deal here until I figure out exactly what I want to do. They weren't very expensive. And of course we've got the backup wideband. The Innovate was working, then yesterday it quit working again. This morning it worked again, so it's very finicky. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put this in, so we hopefully won't have an issue. And then of course got a 8 AN. This is a 30 micron fuel filter with AN fittings, so we'll run the line from there. And then I have adapters coming that will adapt the AN lines to the stock push connect. They should be here anytime. They're probably out in the mailbox right now. But I got these hoses. You know, these are all the same brand as, I guess, Evil Energy off of Amazon. And then the feed hose, I got 8AN, and I got the PTFE, which is good for the E85 and everything. I didn't opt for the PTFE on the return line, because in case that needs to be changed at some time, I can do that. But also, this is, if this doesn't work out with still having a lot of issues with the fuel injection, then this may all go over to carbureted. So I wanted the 8AN feed to have plenty of volume if I do want to go to a carburetor pressure regulator, and 8AN feed, and then I could switch this over if I needed PTFE to a different size line for the return. So anyway, that's kind of the update. We'll be dropping the tank here shortly. And also, when I was running the car today, I took this stethoscope, and one thing, the tuner looked at the logs and thought, he said the driver's side was going a little lean, so I did replace that O2 sensor, and it does seem to be more in line with the other one. But running the car and listening, it seems like there's one cylinder, at least at idle, that's a little off. And it's even watching the vacuum gauge, it'll go that and it'll dip down for just a second every now and again. So I was checking all the injectors. I pulled all the plugs. Everything looked pretty similar, so I don't think it's an injector. But using my stethoscope and putting it on each injector, this one, number 5, sounds different. Just the tone sounds different through the stethoscope than the others. So it seems to be that there's some issue with one of these injectors. So I'm probably going to pull these 4 off and clean them. I've got the little at-home cleaning kit, and we'll see if one is not spraying correctly or slightly clogged or what have you. But all the others sounded the same, and then this one sounded a little different. So I'll pull these off. That'll be easy enough. Plus, I'm going to be switching over to that other fuel rail anyway, so these will all have to come out. The upper intake, and I'll also might as well pull the other side off too and just check everything. So, but anyway, he thought said it was going lean, and thought it was on the driver's side. So we'll start here, see what we find. Anyway, guys, that's the update. We're going for a complete new fuel system, from the tank, new hanger, new pump, everything. And hopefully we'll be at the track, not this weekend, but probably next weekend. All right, thank you. Have a good night.